Inazuma 11 2 added a lot of new features to the competitive scene. So today I want to go over all of those new additions and explain why Maxwell Carson is such a useful player in the game. One of the main new features you need to know about is skills. There are two types of skills in the game: support skills and individual skills. Support skills are skills that give the entire team a boost. For instance, Defense Force gives the whole team a 5% increase in blocking power, and Shot Force gives the whole team a 5% increase in shooting power. Normally, you'd give these four skills to the players that will partake in the least command duels, aka midfielders who are mainly there for passing the ball up to your forwards. This is where Maxwell Carson comes in, who is one of the best Force users in the game, as he comes with Speed Force and Dash Storm. You can use Dash Storm to obviously get up the pitch easier, dribbling past opponents, and Speed Force gives the whole team a 5% increase in running speed. Some of the other best Force users include Yev Dunbar with Defense Force and Harvest, Hitoshi Nakata with Defense Force Dual Pass in Neo Galaxy, and Steve Grimm with Shot Force and Shooting Star. Then you've got the plus skills. These only increase the stats of players in certain zones. Zones are a bit complicated to explain, so I'm going to kind of throw up this image and hope it does a lot of the explaining for me. Basically, all formations are divided into 4 zones: the forward zone, midfielder zone, defense zone, and goalkeeper zone. And when we look at how these skills correspond with these zones, well, Shoot Plus gives players in the forward zone, so that's the green positions, a 10% increase in shooting power, whilst Defense Plus gives players in the midfielder zone a 10% increase in blocking power. Some of the best plus users include Alan Sumner, Bella Lure, George Winters, and Miles Ryan. And again, these skills are mostly given to players that participate the least in command duels. Then you've got your final support skills: Everyone Move It and Never Give Up. Everyone Move It strengthens your entire team when winning by 10%, and weakens your team when losing by 10%, whilst Never Give Up does the opposite of that. So, in order to use this skill to its full capacity, you'd have one user with Everyone Move It and one user with Never Give Up, and you swap the two from the bench to the pitch depending on the scoreline. So when you're winning, you'd bring on the player with Everyone Move It, and when you're losing, you'd bring on the player with Never Give Up. And some of the best users for this include Mary Antoine and Nancy Polar. Now we move on to individual skills that boost the user rather than the team. These include Charm Up, Big Moves, and Keeper Plus. Charm Up weakens the opponent if they are male, with only females being able to learn it. Big Moves gives a 1.25 times power boost in return for a 1.2 times TP cost, which doesn't matter too much unless the said player using it has low TP. Keeper Plus gives a 1.1 times boost to the keeper, and obviously only goalkeepers can learn it. Some of the best users of these skills include Isa, Chops Denton, and Ted Autumn respectively. Charm Up is easily one of the best skills in the game, being effective against pretty much 90% of the character options. As a result, the meta is very female dominated, especially considering that the strongest female goalkeeper is Isla Pullens with a non-stab Mug in the hand, so the balance is basically nowhere to be found. So that's everything about skills in Inazuma 11 2. So let's do a quick overview of the other features. The two main ones we're going to focus on are shot blocking and key player. In Inazuma 11 2, your keepers will no doubt produce lower numbers in the opposition shots. So as a result, you want to be using shot blocks to protect them. And normally you want to make sure that the shot blocks defending your goalkeeper are the right elements so that you're not getting overpowered by a certain element. For instance, if you use a fire goalkeeper, you should probably protect them with air shot blocks. The best shot blocks of each element are as follows. For fire, it's Shooting Star. For air, it's Whirlwind Force. For wood, it's Stonewall, and for earth, it's Road Roller. And finally, we've got Key Player. Despite what it looks like, Key Player has nothing to do with boosting the strength of the key player. Instead, it determines how the whole team calculates power. You want a defender to be your key player. This takes guard and body into account when calculating power. This is considered the best key player, as these two stats are important for every player on the field. Meanwhile, key player midfielder uses control, and key player forward uses kick, which both are not as good. And that is basically everything you need to know about Inazuma 11 2's competitive scene, and why Maxwell Carson is surprisingly good. Massive shout out to Zikr AK for helping with today's video, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all that classic YouTube stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.